Hey guys, my name is Ben Reed and I'm one of the small group pastors here at Saddleback. Did you know that childcare is one of the most difficult issues a group faces? It is. If you've got kids in your group, then you know this to be the case. See, I know this firsthand because I've got kids myself. I have 2 children, and look, here's the deal. Kids ruin everything. No, they really don't, I'm just kidding. But kids do make things a lot more complicated when it comes to small group life. But childcare is not something that your group can't figure out. For centuries, people have figured out what to do about it. Acts 2:42 tells us a habit that the early church had. Here's what it says. It says, "And all who believed were together and had all things in common. And they were selling their possessions and belongings and distributing the proceeds to all, as any had need. And day by day, attending the temple together and breaking bread in their homes, they received their food with glad and generous hearts." Well, if they were meeting together from home to home, don't you think they had to figure out what to do with their kids too? They did. And so if the early church could find the best way to manage children during their group time, then guys, we can do it too. Now, we can't tell you to do what is best because what is best is what works for your group. But we can give you a lot of different suggestions, things that different groups do that work for them, and we'll also give you some benefits and potential pitfalls of each idea. So the first idea is just have your kids with you in your group. Just have your kids in your house as well as the adults. And so if they're old enough, maybe you can even have them in the small group discussion time. Now, there's some benefits to this. One is there's no childcare costs, and it kind of feels like they're a part of the group. And it's easy because you never have to wonder what you're going to do with your kids. Wherever you're meeting, you just bring them. It's really convenient. But here's some cautions to look out for. One, children can really change the dynamics of a group. When they're part of a discussion, the discussion can go a lot differently. People may be more reluctant to share openly and honestly when there's a child in the room. Marriage problems, especially sensitive ones, are really awkward to talk about when there are children in the room. The second idea is this. You could get individual childcare for each family. With this, you can just encourage families to figure out what to do with their own kids in their own home. So people would just hire their own sitter. Now, there's some benefits to this. One, they can use their own sitter that they're comfortable with. 2, they can keep kids on their own routine, their bedtimes, their meal times. The other benefit to this is that kids, they're not a distraction in the group because they're not even in the same house. But there are some cautions. One is it's expensive. Childcare costs can add up quickly when each family is doing it on their own. Another caution is that if for some reason somebody can't find childcare on a given night, then they're going to have to miss group that week. Another idea, and this may work with your group, is to rotate with another group to offer childcare. With this, you could coordinate with another small group that meets on the same night that you meet, and every week have someone from another group volunteer to offer childcare for that corresponding group. So let me play out how this would work. So week 1 or 2 couples from group A would watch the kids from group B while group B has their small group time. Week A has that week off from meeting in their small group. Week 2, 1 or 2 couples from group B would watch the kids from group A while group A has their small group time, and week B has the week off from meeting as a small group. Well, there's some benefits to this. One, it doesn't cost any money. Another benefit is that groups get to work together and form community between their groups as they're strategizing on the weeks that they're going to meet, the weeks that they're not going to meet, the adults that are going to offer childcare, and the ones that are going to be meeting as a small group. But there are some cautions. One of the big things is that through this system, through this idea, each group only meets every other week. It's just something to keep in mind. Sometimes this slows community when your group is only meeting every other week. The second thing is that groups may grow to resent having to not meet so that they can watch other people's children. Another thing to look out for is that it's really a lot of coordination, because the weeks where someone has to cancel out of their childcare role, it could mean that the other group can't meet. There are a lot of different potential reasons that could derail a group meeting during this method. The fourth idea that we want to throw at you is that you could offer childcare at a house close by where your group meets in a different home with a babysitter that you hire. So the group hires a babysitter or 2, depending on how many children you have in your group, one that they can all agree on, and they bring their children to a house of one of their group members close by where the group is meeting. There's obvious benefits to this. One, it's cheaper than everyone getting their own sitter because you're sharing the cost. Another benefit is that children are off-site and they aren't a potential distraction during group time. But there's some things to look out for. One is it can sometimes be difficult to agree on a babysitter that everybody is comfortable with. The two is there is some cost involved in hiring a babysitter. It's less, but there's still some cost involved. Another potential thing to look out for is that your group may not have another group member's home close by, so this idea may not even be an option for you. The next idea that we want to throw at you is that you could have group members watch the group's kids. So with this, you would have group members step out during group time to watch the children in their group. There's a couple of different ways that you could accomplish this. You could meet every other week and have guys meet one week and the ladies watch the kids, and then the ladies meet the next week and the guys watch the kids. Or you could do this. You could have 2 people from the group sign up each week to watch kids. So sign up 2 people of the same gender each week. So 2 guys will watch the kids this week, 2 ladies next week. If you don't do this, then if you have like a couple sign up together, then when they sign up, it's actually going to end up for them feeling more like a job. And when you pair people up by gender to watch the kids, then those 2 people have a chance to build relationships as they're serving the group by watching kids together. It's a win on a few different levels. Now, there's some other benefits. One is there's no cost. It's free. There's just 2 people stepping out that are in the group to help watch the kids. Another benefit is that the whole group doesn't have to stop meeting every other week. They can continue to meet every week. Another benefit is that the adults build a relationship with the kids. And honestly, this is a value to me because I want other voices in my child's life. I want my kids to know the other adults that are in our small group. Another benefit is that the 2 people that are watching the children that night, they can build a relationship. Another benefit is that it's actually pretty easy to coordinate this because you have people sign up, and if they just don't show up that night, it's easy to just send a couple of other people to help watch the kids. And just 2 people from the group are offering childcare. There's just 2 people from the group that are stepping out, and they're stepping out right there in the same home or in the same place that you meet. There are some cautions, though. You do have 2 people stepping out, and so this is a potential community disruptor. Another thing to look out for is that children can be a distraction because they're going to be in the same home or in the same location where you're meeting. They can be loud, they can sometimes want to come see their parents, and they're in the same home, and so that can be a distraction. So you see, you have a lot of different options for childcare. Every option has upsides, and every option has downsides. This is a chance, though, for you to have a conversation with your group. If what you're doing now isn't working, then talk with your group members and figure out what works best. The church has dealt with this issue for centuries, and it's not going away. We hope these ideas help as you're living life together in small group life.